Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen, and I am back for another live stream brought to you, of course, by Princess Dental Staffing. So happy everyone could be here with me today. So today's topic is crucial certifications and skills you need to have in order to become a dental hygienist. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so we've done live streams before and a bunch of recordings before about, dental hygienists, what they do, what their job tasks are, what they're kind of responsible for, some of the skills that they need to have. So today we're going to be talking about the crucial certifications that they have to have and some of the key skills in order to become a really successful dental hygienist. Okay, but before we dive into today's topic, excuse me, before we dive into that, I just want to remind everyone briefly that each week we are bringing you a new live stream, of course, again, brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing. And each week we're talking about a new topic that discusses, starting and continuing your career in the dental industry. So if you like the information that we're bringing you each week, be sure to drop us a like on this video. If you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel, okay? And if you want more information on the content we're bringing you, be sure to check out Princess Dental Staffing's website. Now, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job site, okay, that's offering full-time, part-time, permanent, and temporary positions for dental assistants, for front office personnel, dentists, and yes, dental hygienists as well, okay? So if you want more information on the topics that we're covering every week, be sure to check out their website, princessdentalstaffing.com, where you can read through their blog, okay? You can also start searching for dental jobs in your area, and it's also super easy to create a profile and get your information in front of key decision makers and potential new employers, okay? So let's dive into today's topic. Again, we're talking about crucial certifications and skills that you need to have in order to be a dental hygienist, okay? So firstly, do you need a degree? The answer is yes, you do. You need at least a minimum of a two-year education, like an associate's degree, essentially. And you can get this from a community college program, a dental school, or a university program, okay? But you have to make sure that it has to be accredited by the Commission on Dental Education Establishment. So it does have to be accredited, so be sure to research that before deciding on a program to enroll in order to become a dental hygienist, okay? Alrighty, and then once you have your degree, you can start working towards licensing. So do you need a license? Do you need a certification in order to be a dental hygienist? The answer, of course, again, is yes, you absolutely do. You have to become a registered dental hygienist, okay? So after you graduate from your program, okay, you're going to have to take and pass the National Board Dental Hygiene examination, okay? So that is required in all 50 states, okay? Now, after that, there are some certifications that are required by different states. Each state is a little bit different. And, once this stream is finished, I'll go ahead and comment below a link to a resource that shows you that will connect you with different licensing boards in each state, okay, licensing authorities in each state. So you can kind of, if you're looking for state-specific information, you can look that up and figure out what certifications you're going to need. But depending on the state, you may need dental radiography certification. You may also need infection control continuing education as well. Some states will require that you have never failed a clinical examination, and most states are going to require a CPR certification as well. And even if they don't require it, it's a really good idea to have one. So make sure that you get your CPR certification as well, okay? Okay, so those are the education and certification requirements for being a dental hygienist. Now let's dive into some of the skills that you need in order to be a dental hygienist. So first, let's talk about technical skills. So discerning subtle radiographic contrast. Okay, so that is a really key technical skill to have, usually obtained through your education, through your program that you're enrolled in, okay? But, examples are the thickness of subject contrast, receptor contrast, and changes in density. Okay, so those are some, components of, being able to discern those subtle radiographic contrasts. Okay, so really technical skill, definitely need to have if you're going to be a dental hygienist. Okay, again, usually obtained through education, so they'll kind of teach you how to do that. Okay, additionally, telling the difference between the color and the color of the tissue as well, because that can really give you some insight as to the condition of the oral tissue. Okay, so it can help you understand the difference between poor oral hygiene and xerostomia, okay, which is basically the condition of dry mouth, okay? So just some key skills to have in order to better serve your patients when it comes to, elevating their oral health, okay? So let's talk about some interpersonal skills next, okay? Firstly, having a team player attitude, just being a team player. And that basically, having that attitude basically means that you understand that everyone in your office is there for the patient. Okay, the patient is the number one priority. And, you're all working towards, again, elevating and improving and maintaining that oral health of the patient. Okay, so when you employ that team player attitude, that can manifest in such actions as being willing to help out your coworkers, being willing to help the dentist when necessary, and also understanding your role in the office and understanding, what you're responsible for and what your performance standards are set at. Okay. So, team player attitude. Secondly, remaining calm under stressful situations. So, this can be a very, very stressful job potentially. You have stressed patients. Not everyone likes to go see the dentist, right? We all know at least someone who has a fear of going to the dentist. So they're already anxious, afraid, stressed. Okay, so you have to be able to maintain that kind of calm demeanor in order to, kind of guide that patient through whatever processes they're going through that day. Allergic reactions can happen as well. You have to be, calm in order to navigate that situation well. Okay, packed schedules, nonstop work, feeling like you don't have enough time. These are all common feelings that can be held by, or that can be experienced by dental hygienists. So, being able to work under pressure and remain calm and present that calm demeanor to patients and to coworkers as well during those stressful times is a really, really key skill. I've got a question here. It is always important to put the patient first. Yes, absolutely, Drew. I feel like we can lose track of that sometimes through seeing work as a day-to-day. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great point, Drew. It's definitely something that you want to remind yourself of every so often. At the end of the day, everyone's there for the patient and trying to do their best for the patient. Okay, and when you employ that kind of attitude and that kind of outlook, it really bolsters your team player kind of attitude. Okay, great insight there, Drew. So we talked about remaining calm under stressful situations. Next, confidence. Having confidence in yourself makes your patients confident in you as well. It can really help your patients. It can really help build that trusting rapport, that positive rapport, and that confidence that your patients have in you as well. Confidence also helps you perform better, right? So, knowing what your strengths are and knowing what really helps build that confidence, which really, again, helps build that relationship with that patient. So you can derive confidence from your training, your experience, your education. Okay, so make sure that you have confidence in yourself as a dental hygienist. Okay. All right, some other education takeaways. Okay, some other things that are, not necessarily as technical in nature, but just some things that you want to take away from your education, from the program that you're enrolled in. Firstly, psychology, things like, how do patients respond? Are they nervous? Being able to read those signs of nervousness and anxiety, fear, those sorts of things. preferring blunt or maybe softer explanations. Okay. So, having that kind of background in psychology, interpersonal skills, those sorts of things can really help you tune into your patient and understand what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and be able to respond appropriately. Okay. So really, really important. Additionally, communication skills, right? Being, a communicative person. Okay. Being able to explain the consequences of poor oral hygiene so that the patient can understand well. Tactful explanations, right? Using a little bit of diplomacy and, potentially not being too harsh. Not every patient, not every person responds well to kind of bluntness or harshness, right? Explaining high level concepts to people who might not necessarily understand what it is that you're talking about, because they don't deal with it on a regular basis like you do. They don't have the education or the certifications that you do. So being able to explain those high level concepts in a way that patients can understand, again, really helps build that trust and also that understanding so that they can help maintain good oral health when you're not around, right? Presenting and explaining options so that you can move forward in the best way that works for the patient, and explaining difficult decisions for them clearly, such as benefits of a form of oral surgery or something like that. So communication skills really, really crucial to have those good communication skills as a dental hygienist. You have to be able to build that rapport with your patient and explain those concepts that maybe are a little bit difficult for, us non-dental people to understand, so that, we all know how we're moving forward. Okay. Biomedical science takeaways as well. Tooth anatomy, right? You have to have knowledge of tooth anatomy in order to understand, oral hygiene and be able to come up with those treatment plans and those sorts of things. Studying and understanding all models of teeth, extracted teeth, carved teeth, 3D virtual teeth, understanding shapes and crevices, understanding where it's commonly missed when brushing and cleaning. So having all that knowledge of tooth anatomy can really help you, determine again how to go forward with the patient in order to bolster their oral hygiene habits. Okay, and coming up with those treatment plans as well. Pharmacology as well, understanding the uses and effects of drugs that you will be using on the patients, and being able to explain these to the patient as well, so that the patient can potentially look out for side effects, right? That can be, that can inhibit the health and healing process. Okay, so also some other good things, or some other crucial skills that you need to have, some crucial knowledge really that you need to have as a dental hygienist. Okay, so let's do a quick review before I let you all go. So crucial certifications and skills that you need to be a dental hygienist. Firstly, a degree. Yes, you need to have one, an associate's degree that you can obtain from a community college program, university program, or a dental school, specifically a dental school. Okay. Do you need a certification? Yes, you do. You have to be a registered dental hygienist. Again, I'll comment that link below so you can find out your particular state's licensing authority. So you can find that. And you can also find out what other certifications are required in your state, because from state to state, they vary a little bit after becoming a registered dental hygienist. Technical skills that you need to have: discerning subtle radiographic contrasts and telling the difference in the color of tissue. Some interpersonal skills that are really crucial: having that team player attitude, remaining calm under stressful situations, and having that confidence in yourself and your knowledge and your experience and your abilities as a dental hygienist. Some education takeaways: psychology, right? Being able to relate to your patient and understand what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And some communication skills in order to be open and to open those lines of communication so that the patient understands what's happening and what's going on and how they're moving forward with treatment. And then some biomedical science takeaways: tooth anatomy. Okay, really, really important, right? You have to know about teeth in order to be a dental hygienist, and also pharmacology. Okay, understanding drugs and how they interact with one another and those sorts of things. Got a few questions coming in here and comments. Let's see. It's always important to put the patient first. Oh, sorry, read that one already. Do you have any tips that may help with confidence building, as you spoke about before, even if it is something as basic as to hype yourself up in front of the mirror before having to go in with a patient? Haha. That's a really good point, Drew. It's easy to say, oh, you should have confidence, but it's another thing to work on specifically within yourself. So, well, firstly, I would say, if there's something that you're not confident about, work on it, right? So if you're not necessarily confident in your knowledge of tooth anatomy, study a little bit more. Try to find some resources to help you hone that knowledge and hone those skills, right? And that is going to help make you more confident because you're essentially training for that, right? Now, when it comes to confidence, sometimes I know like confidence can be a little difficult to have when you're interacting specifically with people, which dental hygienist does all the time. So really kind of practice. Honestly, confidence really a lot of the time comes from practice. So practicing with maybe getting out there and trying a new skill or getting involved in a new a group or something like that, so that you meet new people and practice some of your interpersonal skills. That can help build your confidence as well. So really, confidence a lot of the time comes from having an honest assessment of yourself and finding the areas where you feel you're not as confident, and then devoting time, effort, and energy to honing your skills or honing your knowledge in those specific areas. Practice is definitely, they always say practice makes perfect. It might not make perfect, but it's definitely a good start. So that's actually where I would start. Okay. Great info. I never knew there were so many aspects of tooth anatomy. Yeah, Sahar, right? There's a lot, and you definitely need to be very, very familiar with that as a dental hygienist. Reaching out for resources and helping to better yourself from practice is always good. Yes, nothing beats it like taking the metaphorical leap, so to speak, and just go for it. Thank you. You are most welcome, Drew. That's a great insight, though. Yeah, it's really easy for me to sit here and tell you, hey, have confidence in yourself, but it's definitely something different to actually to do it, right? Easier said than done, right? So make sure those areas where you're not as confident, make sure that you devote the time, effort, and energy needed in order to become confident. And that way you can better help your patients, you can better help your team members, your leadership, and the office as a whole, right? So really great thing to do. Okay, so those are all the topics that I wanted to discuss with you all today. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the great insights, comments, questions. Really, really love that. Really makes for a great discussion. So be sure to tune in next week where we will have another topic on Wednesdays. Okay, every week on Wednesdays, unless I tell you otherwise. But other than that, I will see you all next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Make sure that you stay safe out there and you continue to stay healthy. I'll see you soon. All right. Bye, everyone.